Good morning. My name is Caitlin. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. And if you came back, thank you. Not gonna lie, I did not really feel like recording today, but I didn't record yesterday, and I don't want to start making a habit of it. I have been kind of running late just because traffic sucks. It's been taking me at least an hour to get to work, and it took me an hour and a half to get home yesterday, so yeah, kind of hating that. And it is that time of the month where I am just really, really tired. So, I don't know, I hesitated to say that I feel depressed, because I feel like if I got enough sleep, maybe I wouldn't feel this way, but I just, I'm sleeping the same amount that I do, most of the time, but my body needs more than that, so, I don't know, I've been getting up a half hour later than usual, just that I can kind of give myself that little bit of extra rest, but still leaving the house at the same time, so I don't know. But maybe I am a little bit down, but it's more like just the not feeling it, kind of. I don't know. I know that a week ago I was kind of on the other end of things where I had I wouldn't say I had a lot of energy, but I had nervous energy, and now I don't have any energy, so I don't know. It's good to kind of keep track of that, but I don't quite know what that means, and if that's a cycle related thing or if it's just, I'm not sure. Yeah, my partner and I've had a couple of life related conversations, big, deep kind of talks. So that probably has contributed a bit to the mental exhaustion. Just because it's a lot to think about when you're thinking about possibly planning a life together with someone, and everybody's different, so you're not always going to be on the same page about everything. So it's just are we on the same page on enough things, or we live together and see each other every day, and it's hard when I'm like this, where I'm tired and have a hard time expressing emotions, because it seems like I don't have any, and it's not at all true. It's just hard for me to I don't know, it's hard for me to express it. I don't have the energy to express how I feel, so it comes across kind of dull, and I know that he understands that happens for me sometimes, so but it can still not feel very good when we're having conversations that are emotional, and I'm trying to express my emotions and it's not really coming out, or I'm verbally saying things but my face is saying nothing, and it can be kind of, I don't know. I'm just really tired. So, it's, yeah, not helping with that. But, I don't know. I tend to, like, be kind of negative or even self-sabotaging sometimes. But I also feel like I just want to think everything through before I make any decisions. So my partner and I'm just gonna, whatever. I don't know who actually watches this, but my partner and I have been talking about getting married, and it's like, you know, there's a really big decision. I personally have a very complicated relationship with the idea of getting married. I was engaged before, and so it's something that I don't want to go through an engagement and then a breakup again. I'm not really feeling that. That's not something I want to do. And while this is very different, my relationship is totally different. That part of my brain that's like, oh, are you sure? Like, I have a lot of self-doubt. So even if I feel sure about something, I will find a way to find out. Like, yeah, it's kind of frustrating because I don't really want to be like that. You know, I want to just be happy because I am happy in my relationship, but again, saying that, it sounds like I don't mean it because I'm just so like monotone and like dull right now, and it's just I don't have the energy to put into masking and making myself sound more enthusiastic, but like that's what I really mean. You know, I mean what I'm saying. But it's just like, yeah, I live with my partner. We have the same car insurance plan. But like, other than that, our finances aren't connected, but we do talk about it. It's like, I know that every day that we're together, it's because we chose to be together. And I feel like as soon as you get married, there's this pressure and contract, and it's just, it's anxiety inducing for me. And I know that there's a lot of good things that come with getting married too, and I just have a hard time getting past the like trapped feeling and the like, not just me being trapped, but like my partner also being trapped. And like, there's no easy, like, there's no way out of that where you're not hurting the person even more. Because I don't know. Like, it's just a hard concept for me. I like that we choose to be together every day, and I don't see that changing. There's, you know, I don't want to be alone, and I don't have anybody else that I want to be with, and I'm not waiting for like somebody else to come along. Like, I'm not, none of those things are happening. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's it's a hard concept for me, I think. I think also from, you know, being a woman, there are some fears around being married that just, because I am educated and I know how things have been historically speaking, and I know things are different, and my partner is not like that. It's just hard for me to not think about certain negative things. But I know there are lots of positive things, and my partner talked to me about them and about, like, I don't know, like, pension related things if something were to happen to him, and wanting to be able to take care of me, and insurance and all of that. And I don't want to let my fear get in the way of good things happening. And I tend to do that in my life in general. I'm afraid of risks, you know? I tend to be pretty risk adverse. So, and there is a part of me that's thrill seeking. I will say that, there's the ADHD side of me that needs that every once in a while, but it has to be, I have very controlled circumstances, and it's usually in, like, I don't know, smaller ways than maybe a typical, like, purely ADHD person would have, because I do have a very, like, my autistic side of me keeps me from being able to do other things, and also my anxiety. So it's just like, when it comes to big decisions, I'm very risk adverse. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I have this job. It's consistent, and there's not a lot of risk involved as far as, like, I don't know. Before this, I did a lot of my own stuff with my own business, and it's a lot more risky trying to work for yourself, and I didn't really make enough money to just do that. And my partner was like, well, I'll support you. And I was like, I don't want to feel dependent. So that might be part of it too, of, like, getting married means that, like, I don't know, it means a lot of things, and people look at you very differently when you're married. I feel like it would age me. Like, oh, you're married. I feel like I would feel old. And I don't know why that is. I don't know what I'm clinging to about pre-marriage youth. I have no clue. But, I'm just talking this out. I don't know. I don't have answers. I don't know why my brain and thought processes are this way. But maybe if I talk about them, I can figure it out. I feel like I would feel less attractive. And it's not because I am, like, trying to attract anyone. I'm not. But I feel like I would feel less attractive. And I don't know why that is either. I don't know why I have these apprehensions, and I know they're not really founded in much. And if people hear that I'm married and don't want to talk to me, then I probably shouldn't have been talking to them in the first place, because that means that they were trying to get something out of me that they weren't going to get anyways. So I don't know, like, I don't know what the, like, feel like, I don't know what's behind that feeling. It's just, like, the word itself, marriage, just feels negative to me, and I don't like that. I call my partner for a reason, because I feel that boyfriend is a little like, childish, and it doesn't really fully encompass the fact that we are a team in a lot of ways, and we support each other, and I feel that partner is a lot more specific and accurate. And also, I don't feel like I need a gendered term for my partner, even though he is a man. Like, I don't feel the need to have like a gendered term. And then as soon as I have a husband, I don't know why that sounds like, ugh. Something in my queer soul doesn't like that word. And then I would be a wife, and it's like, that's just weird. I don't know why. My body just was like, like, what is that? I feel like I would still want to call him my partner. And I feel like that he would kind of not like that because we're married. Yeah, I don't know. Hmm. I don't know if anybody listening has any thoughts on that, or if anybody's had similar experiences. But yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only person. I'm old enough to know that pretty much, you know, nobody's experience is totally unique, and somebody has experienced at least part of what you've experienced at some point. So I know I'm not totally alone, but it would be nice to know from an actual person that that's, you know, yeah. Hmm. I hadn't really thought about that before. I hadn't really said the word husband out loud, and been like, hmm, hmm. I just don't know why it makes me uncomfortable. And like, I don't plan on changing my name. For one thing, my partner has two last names, and I don't want to take both last names. Like, that would just be weird. And then I don't really want to change my name. I am autistic. I don't like change. I don't want to change my name. Um, and I feel like maybe that would also not sit right with him. I don't know for sure. We've talked about it a little bit. But like, something that he said to me just keeps replaying in my head. And it was like, I don't want to just keep, like, I can't remember the exact word now, but it'll come back to me. It'll definitely it keeps popping up, but like, basically, I don't want to keep just, I don't know. Like, is this going anywhere? I don't want to keep stagnant, or like, oh man, I can't remember what the word is now. Like, yeah, basically, like, where is this going? Like, are we gonna get married? Like, what? And then he was like, well, if we never get married, like, I feel like that would bother me. And I'm also like, we're pretty young. Like, we're not that old. And he's like, yeah, but we're not getting any younger. And I'm like, yeah, but I, yeah, I don't know. It was a weird, tough conversation to have, and I still don't know how I feel about it, and I don't want to I'm not gonna get married because I'm afraid of being alone. Um, or afraid that he'll leave because I'm not ready. Because he said that he doesn't want me to, feel pressured or do anything that I'm not ready for. So it's just, I thought I was ready. Um, and then maybe it's the self sabotaging part of my brain that is like, maybe not. Or maybe it's just that I'm not done thinking about it yet. I take a long time to process, and I also overthink things. So there's a lot of information in my head, a lot of imagining what things really mean for me and imagining my life, and I just I'm not quite there yet. Um so I don't know. It's not really I have my notebook open, but it wasn't what I wanted to talk about today. I think I'm a bit stuck just trying to figure this out. Um, yeah. I mean, like, there are certain things that are happening pretty soon that, like, I'll have to make decisions on, like health insurance and that kind of stuff. But it's just, I'm not getting married for health insurance. Um, I have to wrap my head around these titles and changes, and I just don't handle change well. Um, I handled, you know, accepting this person into my life pretty well because it was a gradual thing in some ways where it was just, I got a lot of dopamine from being around him, and I really liked being around him. And so we would just stay together. And I felt like my brain is more calm when I'm around him. So I just didn't want to be alone because I felt better when I wasn't. Um, so I would just, stay over at his house. And then my parents became okay with him staying over at my house. And then we go back and forth now. And it just kind of grew from there. And then that's just how it's been. And I guess, it's been that way for a while, like 2.5 years now. And he's wondering what we're doing. And I'm like, I don't know. We're just living our lives. We don't have money to do anything else yet. And then, talking about housing and, moving out together. I guess he wants to be married first or something. I'm not sure. But he's like, getting a house together is a really big decision. And I'm like, I know that. I struggle with change. I'd probably struggle with that too. Like it's not happening yet, so I'm not struggling with it yet, but I mean, I'm sure I would struggle with that too. So I think it's just understanding myself, and I'm gonna just struggle with these things, and it doesn't mean that I can't do them. It's just I can't do them all at once. It's going to take time. It's going to be hard for me. There's going to be emotions that I don't like feeling sometimes. I'm going to be sad. And it doesn't mean that I am sad that it's happening. It's just that I am having to adjust, and it's going to take energy and time, and it's going to sometimes not feel good. So yeah. And we both talked about it, and we're like, if something were to happen down the line and we decided that, this wasn't the right thing for us anymore and were to get a divorce, that it wouldn't be ugly, and we both care about each other a lot, and I don't want to go through any of that. But I know how we are, and we're not vengeful people. And I know that I wouldn't just stop caring about him, so. And he wouldn't just stop caring about me either. But it's just like, I want to think through all of the possibilities so that we can avoid anything like that happening. But I know that I can't think through everything, and I know that I can't prepare for everything, so logically understanding that I can't prepare for everything and actually being able to stop trying to think of everything is different, and it's really hard, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna have to have more conversations about it, for sure. I think more for me than maybe for him. I think he doesn't have these apprehensions that I do, and part of that does bother me a little bit because I don't like being the only one that's struggling. I don't like feeling like I don't know. Like, why am I struggling and he's not? It kind of bothers me. But yeah, it's just the way my brain is. And I have to work with my brain and not get upset at myself, and try to understand why my brain is doing this. And, it's probably just trying to protect me, and protect him because I really care about him. So, yeah, lots of stuff. Big life decisions. I've never really made any big life decisions thus far. So, yeah. I mean, I still live at home, and I didn't do well when I was alone, moving out. And I ended up going to school online. Like, I feel like I've just kind of stayed in my shell a lot. And some of that is because I just get overstimulated and can't handle doing too much. But some of it's also just because of fear. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to be okay with the fact that I don't have everything figured out. And I think it's frustrating when I feel like he wants me to have it all figured out. And I don't. I don't like feeling pressure. And I know he's not trying to pressure me, but it is. It does feel that way. So, yeah. I don't know. We'll have more conversations, and I know this is like really vulnerable, so Please be nice. Don't leave any mean comments, please. Nobody has so far, so I'm not. Just like one person on Facebook. But yeah. You guys are great. I really appreciate you listening to me talk. And hopefully I will wake up a little bit today. It took me to like 3 in the afternoon yesterday to wake up. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm almost done. I mean, kind of glad, so at least I wasn't like super tired on my car ride home. That was an hour and a half. Not looking forward to tonight. It's probably gonna be the same. But yeah, I'm just drinking a lot of tea because I can't do coffee. Coffee hates me and my IBS, and that's a no-go for me. Also, it makes me anxious and jittery, and like, I don't need that kind of energy. I have plenty of that. My body does that on its own. But black tea is like, doesn't do that to me, so we'll see if I can just have a few cups of black tea. I tend to like double steep, try and get as much out of it as possible, and also kind of like spread out the amount of caffeine that I'm getting, so it's like a slow drip throughout the day. Because if I have too much caffeine at one point, like at any one point, I just start getting anxious. So, but I do need to just wake up and get to work and not ruminate on all of my things. I think I'll be able to do that. I'm tired enough that my brain isn't like racing, so that's good, because that was happening like a week or so ago. But I also just want to not get stuck on things either. So we'll see. Here we go. There we go. Anyways, thank you for everything, and I gotta get to work now. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and that you'll remember that you are enough.